Once again, we are back on Ek Moon Soch Ki Tea Talk Train of Thoughts, a series of an episode with Mr. Krishnarao with the senior category head marketing Parle product. We have seen his interesting journey in all the episodes till now. Now, in this episode, since the presence of an sir on Tea Talk platform, we'll try and get some clarity as far as a career in marketing which is concerned, sir.
Yes.
So this is an area where most of the MBA students and the practitioners who are there would like to have some clarity as to the career in marketing. Can you throw some light on that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So typically, so there are some jokes that I've seen which are like getting being forwarded.
Mm-hmm.
But typically they say the most studious children they go on to be in the topmost schools like IITs and all. And they tend to become the top IITians and engineers, etc. Then the ones who are able to just do graduation, they typically look for getting into MBAs, course like MBAs and all that. And then there are the ones who are not able to take as much of education, and they go on to become some mediocre, some mid-level jobs, etc. And then there are some who actually don't study at all.
Yeah.
So it is as a joke. So they say okay, so the ones who are absolutely the brilliant wise, they go on to work under the MBAs. and the ones who obviously are in a mediocre kind of a job, they also go on to report to MBAs. But the most important is the ones who do not study, they go on to become so they go on to become politicians, and everyone, all of these categories, they go on to work for the politicians. Okay, so that is on the lighter side. But MBA as a career, I would recommend strongly. But at the same time, I'm saying, at least about 25-30 years ago, the career options in the country were really limited. Today, the career choices are wide and actually and it's really vast. So I'm saying one can think of getting into movies. One can think of getting into production, movie production, film production. Okay, one can think of getting into modeling for that matter, and it's the choices and the opportunities are immense now. And not just that, I'm saying even technical studies have evolved so much.
Correct.
One can look at be an app developer. One can look at typically earlier the scope was limited, either you be a doctor, engineer, or you just be a graduate and then you go for a competitive exam or a government job or so. But the horizon has really expanded, and I am saying again, inspired by the movie Three Idiots, where he says actually जो inner चाहत जो है,
correct,
उसकी सुनो and you try whatever is your interest. So many youngsters are at a loss of identifying what he or she likes or loves, what is his or her passion.
Correct.
I think that identification needs to be very very done at an early stage. Typically what happens is, मेरा दोस्त या मेरी सहेली जो है ये कर रही है तो मैं भी
करूँगा.
Parents also say हाँ तू उसके साथ चली जाना या उसके साथ कर लेना. I think that is somewhere something that is really incorrect. I think one should be able to understand what are the real interest, what is the interest area, and what is the passion. And if one identifies, okay, I want to be an MBA, I want to be perform a managerial role, I want to understand the nuances of business, then definitely go for MBA. And if you are going for MBA, so definitely, so now we are seeing that the top notch, the cream is coming actually from the most reputed institutes. They are typically the IITians, and then they are the ones who are actually come from the top IIMs, of the country, and that's a terrific combination actually. So they have a complete understanding of technical skills, and they also have, and they are well versed with technology, and they are also very well versed with the managerial skills. So that's a fantastic combination, and once you have that, so we observe that a lot more entrepreneurs actually are the ones who are either IITians or who are engineers, and a mix of MBAs as well. So once you gain the understanding of the entire business end to end, right from the conception to the execution of the entire value chain or the business proposition, is when you can actually think of launching yourself into a business or becoming an entrepreneur.
Now, for the MBA students or the practitioners who are there, like, when we talk in terms of an brand management, and they want to get into the brand and branding aspects, so what are the skill sets which they should nurture, and so that over a period of time they can fit into the role of brand management?
Yes.
Now, in your case, like we have seen your beautiful story, how you started with the sales.
Correct.
You understand the ground realities. Then you came up higher up in the ladder.
Yes.
Understand the techno-commercial aspects as well.
Yes.
So technically also you need to have knowledge in terms of an operational efficiency, in terms of understanding the pricing, in terms of technical aspects, in terms of logistic as such.
Yes.
So what advice you would like to give to the young grads who would like to make into the brand management aspects?
Yes. So now the opportunities are many, unlike earlier. Again, there are many more companies. India is on the crux of exploding in terms of overall the economy is exploding. We are seeing the influx of new age companies, a lot of new organizations across sectors, across categories are being introduced, and as a result of which we are seeing a greater opportunity for product managers or brand managers as a position. So typically when I passed out, I was of the opinion that the channel to product management or brand management is through sales. I'll join sales, I'll become an area manager, I'll become a regional manager, and then I'll become a marketing manager. But no, that's a wrong notion. Brand management can actually begin with the role of being a management trainee, and from there on one gets promoted as a product executive or a brand executive, and from there on one goes on to become a product manager or a brand manager, and then thereafter the journey, of course, to the hardcore marketing. But my advice is try and gain experience in sales first, because that's the last mile. Because unless one understands the entire value chain and especially the sales aspect of the business, one would not be able to implement the strategies appropriately in the various brands or the portfolio that they handle. Typically, you see large organizations, they recruit people and they send these top-notch MBAs into the field, into the market. There is a stint they need to complete. They will be sent to the rural markets. They'll have to spend time in all kinds of geographies before they come back to be the shiny diamonds, I would say. Okay, and that's when their journey begins. So that's my advice is actually do not think of getting into brand management directly. Possibly gain an experience in the initial phase in the hardcore sales as an operation, as a function, before you make a switch to the product management.
I think it's a real great advice for the target audience, because unless and until you get to the ground realities, you understand the consumers, you understand the retailers, you see the competitive brands over there, you won't be in the position to devise and strategies for your product, in terms of innovation, brand and branding aspects. So as rightly said, you need to be part of an sales first to make your career more strong in terms of brand management. Okay, sir. What are the crucial tactics the brand manager should use in brand strategy?
Yes. Okay. So I would, further to the previous question, I would also want to add that the new upcoming graduates can also look at media, can also look at research as an opportunity to get into product management. So that's also another channel, another way to look at advertising, media or research to get into brand management as well.
Okay.
So coming to the question of the kind of brand tactics that one should, as a brand manager, should apply, I think these are all time dependent, category dependent. So there is no rule of marketing of one size fits all. But there are still general rules. Okay, so for example, right from like Shakespeare has said, what's in a name? I think there is everything in a name. The name, the naming of a brand is such an important aspect of the entire value chain. Actually, it can determine the success and failure, the distance between the success and failure of the brand.
Correct.
So ensure that the brand name that you are coming up with is one of the best, and it's like, typically it's a coined name or it's a very unique name. It's typically it is said that it should be easy to pronounce, but then there are case studies where the most difficult names have become successful. So I remember of a brand called Alpenliebe. So people were not able to pronounce Alpen. So it was more of a tongue twister. But look at the beauty of the brand manager who made it so easy and broke Alpenliebe into 3-4 syllables, and came out with a nice jingle which talked about Alpenliebe. So 4 syllables, Alpenliebe. So 4 syllables. So it became so easy. Now even a young child is able to pronounce the name very easily.
Correct.
So I am saying, so brand naming is extremely important. The other aspects are, don't be a me too in the category. So if you are a me too, it's going to be extreme uphill task. It's going to be extremely challenging task for any brand manager for that matter. So it's always better to be a large fish in a small pond. What I mean exactly is, look out and create your own new category. The category can be very small. It could be worth say 1 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees, 50 lakh rupees, 1 crore, 10 crore. You need not look at a 500, 5,000, 10,000 crore category. One can look at creating a new small category and be a large fish in that. You be the category creator, be a large fish in that, and then your job is, as you grow your pond. Make the pond bigger. If you look at any of these successful brands, nobody was like big.
Correct. All started from small.
They all started very small, and then over a period of time, in the category they are.
Just like Ek Bund Soch Ki will just.
Absolutely. It takes shape and it gives the size.
Correct.
So I'm saying, do not look at Me Too being in Me Too categories. Typically, it burns out money. It does not assure easy success. It's always good to be innovative. Though innovation does not come easy, it takes a lot of effort.
Correct.
We've seen, so if you launch 10 brands, the chances of them being successful is just 10%.
10%.
So the chances are extremely high that maybe 1 out of 10 would be successful. So it does not come easy, but then strive for innovation. Do not look at Me Too categories. So that's my other advice.
Okay. Now, in fact, it's an interesting story of Mr. Krishnarao Buddha, what we have seen right from his college days till now, and the valuable tips to what he had given is shared through his experience. So if you want to get into an brand management, the grassroots level is a sales. Like, you have to go and be grounded, understand the customers, understand the retailers, understand the product, understand the competitors. Then only you can gradually come higher up in the ladder. We have seen a failure at the initial stage, so that was an experience to what Sir had gained over a period of time. But through those failures, he saw an opportunity. Now, for 21 years being part of one of the best brand world over, Parle, which is there. His association is there with Parle for 21 years, emotionally attached with a very rich experience. Sir, how would you describe your style of a leadership? Now, we have seen 21 years you have been there into Parle, and gradually how you have grown.
Yes.
So, how you describe the style of leadership of yours?
My style of leadership is extremely collaborative. I believe in teamwork. I believe in delegation. I believe in empowering my team. So I believe in being very open and transparent. I maintain transparency. I believe in extreme high level of communication. So I don't want any kind of gaps. So typically I ensure that the communication chain across my team is complete, because most of the mess ups happen when there is a communication gap. And I'm particularly in the business of communication, and if I err at communication, so I had it. So I want to ensure that I always ensure that there is absolutely zero communication gap. I am able to convey the message very, very clear in absolutely uncertain terms to my team. I think and that has really helped me, and that has helped us taste success across different junctures.
Okay. And how Mr. Krishnarao keep himself balanced and happy with all these challenges which are there, innovations, new thought process?
One is also I'm fortunate to have an organization, work with for an organization like Parle, which actually believes in a strong work-life balance. So once I'm off work, then I am absolutely on my own, and I ensure that I maintain that balance. So I give adequate time to my family, my children, my wife, my parents. So that is how I sort of keep myself cheerful and happy. And I also ensure that I meditate every day. And actually, since the time I've been doing it for quite some time now, since the time I've started that, actually I've seen that most of the thoughts have actually occurred to me during meditation.
Okay.
So that's been a revealing for me actually, and I think that works very well. And typically during my younger days, I used to have some anger issues, but over a period of time I have understood that we are in a corporate world, and one needs to really have a good control over anger, and that basically gives you ensures that you are in a good health and you are able to think better. Ultimately the entire team's objective is the corporate goal. It's a common goal, and there is no point being unnecessarily panicking at any point in time. So that's typically, those are my ways of keeping myself cool and having a collaborative leadership and having a good work-life balance. I maintain my cheer.
Physically and mentally you balance yourself. Right. Krishnarao Buddha, does he think he is successful, or you still aspire to be, or do more in future life?
So I was watching a Telugu movie of Mahesh Babu. So he keeps saying actually that success is not a destination. Success is a journey.
Okay.
So it's never ending. So you cannot say that I have arrived.
Okay.
So it's a continuous process. It's a journey. You keep achieving small successes, and there is no limit. Like you said, age is not a limit for learning. Age is not a limit for success. At any age, there have been some umpteen cases where people have started businesses at the age of 50 and have been extremely successful.
Correct.
So success, I cannot term myself as successful, but I am saying I am enjoying my dose of small successes at every point, and I look forward. I think there is a long way to go.
So the mantras in this episode, success is a journey. No doubt the journey of Mr. Krishnarao Buddha, what we have seen right from Medimix day when he used to sell the FMCG products to the Maxwell, to Uncle Chips and to other organizations, and 21 years strength in as far as the Parle is concerned. And no doubt what you have said, your mantra, success is a journey, sky is the limit. So thank you very much for spending your valuable time on Tea Talk, for enriching the Tea Talk audience with the word of wisdom. That's what this channel is all about. The experts, they come and they share their experience. From that experience, the meaningful learning is being drawn by the target audience, where with this Ek Boond Soch Ki, they can make their own life. That's what we give it back to one society. So thanks once again for your presence on Tea Talk Ek Boond Soch Ki.
Thank you
And
so much.
if you like the channel, subscribe and like
And
as
like
much
it.
as you can. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.